So Stephen and I, my brother and I, we bought the practice of my father in 2004, and we started to sort of look at how we were going to expand the practice. And we did naturally kind of expand from about 2.5, he was 2.5 surgeries, high street location, up to 5 surgeries at the time. And at this point we started going to BACD and to kind of some cosmetic lectures, and we kept bumping into you and Dan, and you had this big sign saying, "Do you want to pay less tax?" And I used to say to Stephen, we should go over and talk to those guys because I'd like to pay less tax. So eventually we started talking to you, but it wasn't until maybe 2010-11 that we actually started working with you. But we reached a ceiling really of £2 million turnover. At that point we'd expanded to 6 surgeries. We just couldn't go past 2 million, no matter how hard I worked. So when we initially had this day, and I met Dan and Ross and Luke. Luke's involved in the marketing, and then Dan and Ross. Ross is the accountant led, and Dan is more the strategic side. So I'd say to Dan, well, what do you do? And he said, well, I can't really explain it, but what we need you to do is just to look at the strategic side and to act on it, and to, let's see if we can get you to do less dentistry. And I was also, but if I do less dentistry, the turnover is going to go down. And Stephen and I were the main earners, 75%, 70%. But once we then got this cosmetic dentist in, and the implant dentist, which was essential, crucial, this implant dentist, and we got a business manager who looked at the marketing. I think they're the 3 things we needed: the marketing and the specialities. We started to really see an increase in patients that were wanting cosmetic work and an increased turnover, and we were able to retain dentists because they were getting higher value work. It meant that we could take a seat back, and one of the programme we had with Dan was to take Tuesday afternoons off, and we would work on the business on a Tuesday afternoon, and we would spend 1 Tuesday a month actually with Dan physically, looking at the structure, and with our business manager and my brother. So there was 4 of us in the room. We called it a board meeting. Gradually you saw just a change in the culture of the practice. It became less of a kind of family run, because it was my dad's. It became less of a family run concern, more of a business. And there was more business feeling about it. It was more structured, and the aim was at the time to sell it maybe in 5 to 10 years' time. That was the aim. But it really became apparent then that the work that we were doing on the business was earning more than the money that we would earn in the surgery. We were actually earning more by not working in the surgery, which I could never really understand before I was doing it, but now looking back on it, it's obvious, in retrospect. We really knew exactly where we were every Tuesday on that, when we had those board meetings every Tuesday. We knew where we were, and we'd never had that before. We'd always just looked at the bank account and gone, should we put some money in, should we take some money out? But we knew exactly how each dentist was doing. Got up towards 3 million within about 36 months. We'd increased our turnover by 50%. And then when we came out of COVID, we were approached by Christie's. Well, Hive approached us and said that Christie's were interested. And we had to get all our ducks in a row and our figures together, and that's where Simon came in. He's the main figures guy at Hive, and he got all the figures together really quickly, efficiently, and enabled then Christie's to do a proper valuation quite quickly, and they took it to market, because at the time we were the only big practice on the market. We got the 5 best offers that we could, all above asking price. Christie's were brilliant, and Hive were brilliant at really extracting the best price for us at the time. Hive are great because they've got a lot of strings in their bow. They're not just an accountancy. They are marketing, they are strategic, they are looking at ways to save tax. And then it's not just the strategic, but it's the developmental, the future. How are you going to retire, your retirement, how to develop your practice. It's not just what you have, but what we can get you to.